Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 10th of August 1923, and the game's on pause for a reason which I'll explain in a little while. Now, historically, the second half of 1923 is interesting, not so much because the Civil War, which has effectively come to the end with resistance been effectively restricted to occasional strikes against war communism. The real significance of the second part of 1923 is how relatively minor events can have a very big impact on world history. Because in 1923, Lenin suffers a series of strokes which effectively, by the second half of the year, has taken him out off centre stage, because he's away recuperating. In fact, he will die in 1924. And at the same time, Leon Trotsky, who is one of the other major movers in the socialist movement at this time, is also recovering from an illness. So he's away from the centre of power as well. And that effectively leaves a vacuum at the centre, which allows Stalin to build up a power base, so that when Lenin finally dies, he's able to move in, sideline Trotsky, and effectively seize power and take the USSR in a totally different direction, with all the subsequent consequences and lost lives and the relationship between East and West. And that poses the question that if Lenin hadn't died at the age of 51 and carried on for another 10 or 15 years or so or more, would world history been shaped in a different way? Because Lenin wasn't really a true believer in the hardline communism that Stalin brought in. So that's a very interesting aside with respect to the historical situation at this point. And moving on, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me so much to think about. And I'd like to say a special thank you to those of you who took the time to respond to the conundrum I posed in the last video about whether to use cheat mode to get the dollars to represent a Lend-Lease situation. Generally, the consensus was that it's okay to represent the historical event, but I've done a little bit more research around that. I also did a test away from this series, and if you enable cheat mode, you don't get $500,000, you get $1 million. And I thought that would be a bit too much to put into the game just at this moment, considering how short a period of Lend-Lease that we're going to have, because once Stalin starts to assert his power, he takes control. So what I'm going to do is hold that in reserve till we get to the Second World War, when the Lend-Lease support given by the Allies to the USSR is a lot more substantial, and then that $1 million would then represent that effect of building up the economy. So what we're going to have to do is struggle on with what we got at the moment, and hopefully things are going to work. Now, what I want to do in this part is to carry on consolidating what I've been building up here, but at the same time, I really do feel that we need to start working on this area here. Now, the reason the game is on pause is if I come into here, you'll see that we've actually got the fire brigade coming here, and if I unpause the game slowly, you'll see that a building that I've quite literally just finished has caught fire. But the problem is, you can see here the fire engine's got here, but I have no firefighters, so I'm going to lose this building, which is going to be a little bit of a pain, because this is actually, I think it's the kindergarten that's burning down. Yeah, it's the Tudor kindergarten here. So what I'm really curious to see is whether this fire engine survives, or whether it disappears as well. I will just let this burn down really quickly, it won't take long. It looks very much like we've actually lost the fire engine as well. And of course, what we're going to have to do is just rebuild this. So we're going to have to reassign this back to, well, we're going to have to put Titus, bulk supply, excavators, concrete. Well, it's just gravel actually. Okay, so we don't need concrete. We're going to need workers and cranes. Quite interesting that, is that actually, do we actually get a reduction on the build? And it says that we need boards. I'm just wondering, because this originally took boards, I'm sure that did. Let me just check. This sidebar really starts to annoy me a little bit. A kindergarten. Yeah, it looks very much like if you rebuild a building, you actually rebuild with slightly less than what you... Oh, that's interesting. Now, something else I want to show you is, and I think this is quite significant, the impact moving the excavator down here. So I spent all that time in the last video trying to sort this problem out, and all I really needed to do was bring down an excavator here because... Oh no, come on game, play fair. Oh no, the fire engine, we get to that one. Yeah, and you can see the difference straight away because this load time, we've now got a fairly significant pile of gravel here, which should allow us to start pushing out the bits and pieces we're going. And it looks like we've actually got this feeding station here, so we're gonna have to do exactly what we've done before. Is, oops, no, I don't want crops, I want fuel. I'm just going to purchase you. I don't think you've been assigned to anyone, so we're going to get you. Of course, one of the nice new features of the update, which I hadn't talked about before, is the fact that you've now got this. It says manage office tasks. It tells you how many tasks are assigned to the office, so you can actually pick up the... Just going to put that there. And what we'll do is hopefully fill this up, and that means that the oil wagons that keep coming round here to get refueled there will be able to get refueled here. In fact, I'm very tempted to actually add you this actually, so that you can, yeah. So what you can do is eventually put the crops into here. Now, overall, I'm quite happy with New Hope here. I don't really want to add anything else over here at the moment. What I really want to do is just finish off around Titusville here. And then we want to build out this way. Because at the moment we can't really get the firefighters out here. And part of the problem is the fact that we don't really have much of a workforce at the moment. Traffic jam, where are you? Yeah, because we're not using the gravel. And what I would like to do, I don't really want these guys sat around. I know they're a long way out. Wow. Okay, these guys are... Do you need any gravel? You need a bit of gravel, so... I'm starting to wonder whether maybe I do need to push out a little bit on near New Hope and just use that construction office to... I think you can flip it to there and there. That completes that road there. And I think maybe what we can do is keep building through the roads here. Like I could put in a gravel road here like that, and we can assign, because if we can finish off these gravel roads, I think it would make a little bit of a difference. So actually we should be able to hook these guys. Where are you? Well, New Hope Road crew, New Hope boat supply, yeah. And we got the excavators going there. Now I've left the space here. Well, we got some slack here. I think we got a little bit of a gap here, so I think we've got an excavator here which we can send to here. Next thing I want to do is just check over here what we got. Yeah, we got plastics. Quite strangely, we are actually piling up a fair amount of steel here, and I think that might be down to my this little truck here going to North Cape. So what we're going to do is find him, and we're going to, whoops, we're just going to, we'll just put him in there for the moment. There's no point piling up. I mean, we've got 29 tons of steel in here, and so we might as well just kind of use it up slowly. Now, what I would like to do is start work on possibly getting these pumping stations working, but I'm a little bit worried about the power situation. So at the moment, we're just going to get in here. Well, it looks like we need some mechanical components here to get this pump jack working. We've got this here, and oops. And I think what we're going to need is some more oil trucks, aren't we? Right, we got some food into here now, so that means that these oil trucks will no longer be coming round here to get food. That, see, gravel everywhere. So we got magically got the 30 boards back. I really feel that we need to start kind of building this. This needs a mechanism. This needs a mechanism. So we've got a bit of a shortage of mechanisms here. I think we need the Titus cranes on here and New Hope workers as well. I'm just gonna have to try and push the got here. Yeah, see, it's the Titus workers because Titus is a bit short of workforce. In fact, I'm kind of a bit tempted to maybe push some of these guys out and maybe put you on there, there, and there. Because let me just see, how's the see, we got the population is kind of struggling here. In fact, the population seems to be falling for some reason, despite the fact that we got a... I wonder if this is an effect of loyalty. Let me just see. Where is it? Sorry. See, this is good, but you can see the loyalty is a little bit low, but because we can't use the radio stations, so I'm just wondering whether... We've got no escapees, but I do wonder whether we're actually getting... We're getting less births than deaths. I mean, I could bring in some immigrants. I mean, that during this period, there was actually, quite strangely, a bit of a migration to Russia from Germany, because the situation in 1923 in Germany was a little bit dire. So you actually had people coming from Germany to work in Russia, because Russia was effectively trying to bring in people to help rebuild their economy. I'm also a bit curious to see if we bring people in, what we're going to have to do is we don't want third world, won't we? We want I don't want experts. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, say, 40. I'm just going to pause the game because these are the ones who've just come in. So some of these are actually got pretty good loyalty stats as well. Is that because they've come in from another Soviet Republic? In fact, I'm just going to punch in some more, just out of curiosity. You're only 36%, you're 42%. Anyway, that was a bit of a side. Those represented people coming to Russia or other people from the more wealthier areas, because there was also, during this time, there was a kind of a bit of an exodus of people away from the cities towards the rural areas, just effectively to try and get food. So that was a little bit of an experiment, and we'll just see if we can get that to reflect what's going on, and that will just push our population up a little bit. Does that actually, it's actually increased the loyalty a little bit for some reason. The other main concern is that we just need to make sure that we got enough food coming into here. Now, another thing we do need to set up here is we got clothes and food out here. Who is bringing out food to here? Titus. For some reason we're not bringing out the food. I think we do need to stock this up a little bit, and hopefully we can get the. Apologies, I'm just going to make a note of the theatre there, because I did get a request in the comments about my mod list, which is the collection associated with the map, and I have to admit I'm kind of struggling a little bit to keep the mods I'm using up to date, mainly because it takes such a long time to actually track down where the mods are and what's actually going on. So a bit of an apologies for that. I do feel that we do need some kind of food production out here, but what I'm considering is not using the one that's in combination that we've used over here, because at the moment all our food is produced in one site here, which is here. I'm pretty sure eventually we're going to, oh no, we're producing food over here as well. And I actually quite like the idea of having a local bakery. And of course we do need to think about power. And one thing I am considering is building another, where is it, actual power station here. Because I think that will work quite well. The only problem with this power station is I can't remember if it's got an external connection. Because we've only got the one wind turbine, which is only really here to provide the power for this. Let's just have a look at the power plant. What was the one we built? I don't remember what it's called now. I think it's called this one, isn't it? No, that runs on coal. Well, we got coal up here, haven't we? We're not using vast quantities of coal. How much power will this produce? 40 megawatts. It's not brilliant, is it? This is 50. I'm just having a look here. We don't want geothermal. That's a little bit ahead of the time. Then you've got wind turbines, solar power, lignites, coal ore. That could be interesting. We got a small. I'm wondering whether, because we are now moving into a mechanized pattern that needs prefabs. We can't import prefabs. That's one rule that plants gas power. Got a 1930s power plant here, which is pretty wow. So we got. You could say that. Can we get away with that? 50 tons, and we can start building our first major power plant. Or maybe that is a little bit much for the moment. I am quite Run River water wheel. It's going to be a difficult transition because of the restrictions here. We've got a small power plant here. I think we're going to go with the small power plant over here. How much pollution do you produce? 4.2 tons. I think if we put it, say, up close to the coal, we got that's the steel mill. The processing plant is up here. So, say for argument's sake, I put it about here, like that. Because there's a bit of a footpath there as well, isn't there? Coming out of here. But it might be a bit optimistic to come that way. Let me just look at my complicated network here. This is the aggregate here. And can we? Is there a container connection from here? Not container, conveyor. Okay. Got. But input there. I'm wondering, because we haven't really built this yet, have we? This is the steel mill. This is the output area here. I'm just wondering if, say, if I knock this down, and then we put in a kind of say for argument's sake, we put in ones about there. I want to take away the, and then you can go there, you can go there, and then what we got here? Oh, we've got a refueling station there at Titus, and then what we need. We'd have to kind of bring this back this way a little bit, wouldn't we? Because I don't think... Oh, yes, it will. I think what we'll have to do is bring this over like that. And then, sorry guys, I know you're making big efforts on behalf of the Empire, but... And then if we go back to here, power plant. What was it again? It was the... I keep on doing this. I find what I'm looking for. Was it this one, wasn't it? Was it this one? And then we can just pull this back a little bit like that. And then we can just hook into these here. One's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So we're going to put Titus New Hope workers on it, not Titus workers. Because that's going to be a little bit tight. This one should be okay. You're going to need Titus bulk supply as well. And what we could probably do is put Titus bulk supply on that as well. What that would do is allow us to run a proper power supply into this area. And what we can do in the short term is got this medium distribution office here. I think we need to build this. We're going to need Titus concrete, bulk supply, excavators, and New Hope. I think if we bring in New Hope steel here, and we're also going to need, yeah, I think that will work. And what do, yeah, we know we got a traffic jam over here. Is what we're actually doing is we're getting too efficient now. Let me just see the food situation. Yeah, we got is there anything we can do out here that will, I mean, we're still picking up crops here, so we can't really do anything here at the moment with respect to road building. Is there anything in here that still needs a little bit of work to be done? Got a couple of footpaths here which could probably do with being built. I think we'll just get the guys on that. We got a little bit of road up here. There's a footpath there which could probably do with being built as well. So we'll just keep the road crew busy with footpaths at the moment. I don't want to build anything up here just at the moment. How's the population? Well, we're kind of growing slowly with respect to what we're going here. I just want to take another look at the average loyalty. 45-40%. I think what we can do now is to do what I was talking about, is we can start pushing up the loyalty in our education so that we can start improving it, because we should have the workers who will do the necessary. We're just going to just keep pushing this up a little bit, and of course we'll do it in the school here. Of course, the other thing we're going to need to do is put it in our secret police as well. We certainly don't want the infiltrators in our secret police either. So what we need is the more loyal people will be driving the party machine, where the other workers will do as the role they fulfilled in the past. They were the workers. Oops. Just shoot a 40% as well. And hopefully we can go up to 44%. So, I mean, what I'm looking to get to is about 50%. And we're going to take it from there. Right, we've got the hot mix plant here. What do we need for it? I think what we are going to do, we're going to put bulk supply, concrete, excavators on here, workers. I think if we build the hot mix plant here, it means we can collect asphalt from here as well, which I think will be quite a big step forward, I think. And then later on we can then fill in this gap here. But I do want to get this new village up and running. Wow, it didn't take them long to do that. The trouble is, there's a risk of anything burning down. We could get 40 workers in. No one lives here, yes I know, but we've got no over 21s at the moment. I'd like to get, could I get a small community in here running? But what have we got? We've got a clinic, which it's going to need an ambulance. Oh, building on fire again. Apologies for my paranoia. I think we're going to need a couple of ambulances, so that should be dealt with by our fire service. Our fire crew should be able to put this out. Wait. Yep, fire is extinguished. Right, we need a couple of ambulances, so ambulances. I think just make 2 for the moment. Got a dumper here, which I think we'll send out to here. Don't really need them just at the moment, but I think if we can get this hot mix working, and then that means we got a legitimate use for the bitumen in here in the small refinery. Wow. Why is, oh, I think this truck's a bit aggressive, isn't he? Okay. Well, it's okay at the moment. I'm quite happy with that. Who are you? What are you doing? Oh, you're delivering oil. Yeah, I don't want to use this truck to pick up the oil from the pump jack. Oh, I don't know. Cannot export oil. Maybe we're going to need some more oil capability, but we do need to get this. I don't understand why you guys aren't picking up the mech components. Do we have a problem with the mech components? I know what I might have. Who is the mech guy? Covered holes. This should be New Hope components. Yeah. Why aren't you picking them up? 2 horse passengers. Who's... We've got a covered hole here. I think what we'll do is we'll send you to there. See, he's picked up straight away, so it makes me wonder whether we do have a problem with this guy here. We've got 2 covered holes here, which are sat here doing nothing. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. What else we got here? Traffic jam, yes. We've got quite a lot of steel here as well. Are we getting any workers in here? We're still not getting any workers in here. It's just making me a little bit twitchy. Anyway, back to what I was doing. We've got a school. I think what we're going to need to do is kind of reduce this down. We need about 10 workers in there. We've got the clinic needs 3 ambulances. The school, reduce that down to here. Oops, that's a bit too low. Because if we're going to bring people out here, we can't afford them to all rush into other jobs. The only thing we haven't got here is sport. That's an interesting concept. Sport is quite... So we've got a kindergarten, we got a school, we got a clinic, that once we've got people out here, we've got the market, we've got culture. What we don't have is sport, because these are all houses. Oh, this is the Tudor Athletics League up here. Okay, we're going to need to get you excavators. Don't need concrete. We need the Titus Open Transport, and we'll put New Hope workers on that as well. So we're just going to get that here. Ideally, I would like some plus 21s out here, but that's not going to happen. We could build that as well eventually, should we need it. But again, my instinct is a little bit more related to this. But I'm kind of wondering, this guy, he's got his own thingy going here. It'd just be a bit of a waste for him to be. Okay, I think the problem is that we've actually got fuel here, haven't we? I think what we're going to need to do is actually, I don't think we can get you to pick up fuel and there. What we're going to actually do is just going to export a little bit of fuel so that we can make some bitumen, because what we've actually done is we're not consuming that much fuel. That's the problem, and these guys can't deliver any oil, which isn't a major problem. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that truck run backwards and forwards and burn, say, about half of the fuel here, and then once we've done that, well, I mean, I know it's kind of, I shouldn't be exporting it, but it would hurt too much to actually just delete it. So we're just going to let him run backwards and forwards a little bit. Yeah, so he's probably a bit OP for respect to there. I think we're going to build another ambulance. I must admit, I do really like the fact that now you don't have to, keep managing that. That you don't have to keep managing this area. Get the ambo out here. I'm kind of instinctive. I'm just going to sell a couple of these horses as well. I think they're just clogging everything up. Actually, that's something else I need to consider. Is we need a secret police office out here now as well, don't we? Oh. One thing I've got to do is start sorting out my what we call it, the my favorites. Sorry, brain faded a little bit. That's too big. More secret police. Let's just get back to here. I thought I had other options. Ministry of State. This is the one we're building, isn't it? The local intelligence office. think we're gonna have to get you into here. Actually, my instinct is to put it over here, actually. I think we'll put the local intelligence office over here. The reason I'm putting it over here is the fact that our town is going to grow this way, so we might as well put them in the center of the town. And hopefully you're going to get Titusville Road Crew and Titusville Bulk Supply. Put New Hope workers on there. It's a backup. So we got there. We're going to have to bring power in. So we've got the athletics club. We've got a little bit of work for our residents here. We've got our clinic. Hopefully nothing is going to burn down. We've got our secret police. We do need a monument, which is something else I've got to remember. I don't really want this big star though. This is 65 meters. This is a little bit more, subtle. So I think we'll put this in here. Yeah, make sure the footpath's long enough for. We're going to put our monument in there. This is something we need to consider. Okay, and you're going to need Titus bulk supply as well. You can just throw the stuff in there. How are we doing here? We've still got lots of crops being built in here. I'd like to inbuild these mud roads as well. But right, this is being built, so we're going to need to kind of we're going to need some oil trucks now, aren't we? Actually, I think I'm going to take the opportunity, because these guys are like freelancing, aren't they? Okay, go to depot. Go to depot. Go to depot. I mean, they're probably going to spend all their time running backwards and forwards, but this is now finished, see. So what we can do is set you up as a pickup. Whoops. Pick up. And off here. And set the drop off here as well. So just sort this out. You're gonna load oil there, and you're gonna load the refinery and there. So I don't think you guys got any dedicated trucks. Yeah, you've got. Where are you guys? Yeah, I think we'll leave these. We'll leave a couple still on the supplying the oil to there. We need to make sure that's still working. We've got electricity problem where, yep, we may not have enough power down here to drive everything. So maybe we'll have to put a secondary power supply up here. Yeah, we don't have enough power. Right, what we're gonna have to do is power plants. You got 15. Can we justify that? I think we'll just put a small one in here, and again we're just going to bulk supply excavators, and I think that's all we need, isn't it? And then we'll get another wind turbine here. And what that will do is drive this. How are we doing? I mean, crop-wise, we're doing okay. How's the fuel? How's my crazy truck doing? Where are you? Oops. Well, he's doing okay at the moment. Where are you? Take you off that. Take you off that. Yeah, wait until loaded. Where are you? I'm just going to let him run backwards and forwards a couple of times just to take that fuel out. We are exporting the fuel, aren't we? Take a look at our exports. Yep, I mean, we're making a small amount of fuel at the moment. Profit, sorry, not fuel. What am I on about? Oh, this is going pretty good. We can get this built here. I'm going to be very interested to see. Well, this has actually got mechanical components delivered to it. This is pretty cool, actually. Right, we're going to get bulk supply, excavators. You need concrete, and of course you're going to need workers as well. We'll put New Hope workers on here because they don't have anything else to do. And we need mech components. So have to put why we'd have to put those on, won't we? Okay. And of course we're going to need to build this as well. We don't need bulk supply. What we need is put New Hope steel on it, and we need New Hope workers as well. Put that on there, and what we're going to need is New Hope Titus cranes here. Sorry, we put that there. Did I put? Because you've got cranes. Do you have cranes? If we can get this built, and then I can add a couple of dumpers to here. So what we're going to do, if I got some dumpers up here, I'm going to bring a dumper to here, and we got any more dumpers over here? Okay, there we go. I'm going to put the ambulance go into here. I'm going to put, for the moment, we may eventually build another, what we call it here. I think what I'm going to do is, if I can find my truck. At the moment we're okay for fuel. We actually produce more fuel. But I think the Mack truck that's coming up here, we're going to freelance him a bit more. Of course, we've got this oil storage here, but I don't think we're really going to need that just at the moment. The big problem we're going to have is getting this power plant up and running, because we're going to need to take a workforce up to there. So we're going to need a bus stop here, aren't we, as well? Something else I've forgotten. Got a frat house here. So we're going to need to put a bus stop in. For citizens. I think I'm a bit inclined to use this. Actually, let me just see. Where's the terrain tools? Our little measurement tool here. Why is that saying? How far is this out? Yeah, it's ground distance, height, elevation. It's 300 meters. we take it from no, cancel this, and say we take it from this point to here, 247. It's a little bit long. I mean, if we built a building out here, but I think we will need a bus stop. But maybe if I just use a modded bus stop. Platform station. We've got this tiny bus stop here. See if we can find the one that doesn't need any, what we call it, anything to construct. It means I'm not using resources. There we are. Got this one here. Of course, we've got to turn it around the right way. And I think we're just going to drop you in there. And then we can hook you up with a footpath there. And accept that. And hopefully you will get... this complication here is picking up the... Right, we need Titus bulk supply. We'll probably need New Hope Titus workers on that. And we're also going to need bulk supply on here as well. So we'll get that little bus stop built into here like that. Right. Your job, how much does this stores only 20 tons of gravel. You pick up from there. And you drop off there. We're going to build it up slowly. And then what we need is some bitumen in here. I'm just wondering if you've got the oil refinery here. I'm not trying to load bitumen, and this might not work, so we already assigned. We'll give these guys a go to see if that will actually work. The idea is we'll get bitumen into here and the gravel and see if that will actually work. And then if that does work, what we can do is move our bulk supply contractor to here, and that will actually make things work. And I'm aware that I'm running out of time on this video, so we're just going to go a quick Skype round and see what's going on. I'm not seeing any black patches on the fields. It looks like we've got a full harvest in, which is good. Let me just take a look at the... We've got 256 tons of crops in there. We've got crops all over the place here. These are kind of showing 000. We've got crops in there which are looking good. We've actually built this as well. Okay. Okay, we just have a little bit of a change here. Something I hadn't noticed. What I can do is put you into that there, or unload. So you can unload crops there. What we should be able to do now is take out the that silo there, and that silo there. What it means is these guys, I think it's this one we just done, isn't it? Nope, is it? This must be this one then. The thing that gets me is that you can't seem to be able to have multiple windows open. If I pin that, see, the pin doesn't seem to work. But it says view this building, close. Because you used to be able to have like multiple. Oh, it's done it now. So you've got cargo station there, and what we're going to do is just add you Right, add you there. You've got to unload crops. Take the silos off here. That will also give me a bit of extra space now for fields, although not that we need it, but I think that will there. I think what I will do is we can hook you. Thank you. I'm just going to rename you. For you, Titus cargo. This is about the only one that's going to need it. We've now got. I'm still not sure how that pin works, and it's kind of a little bit inconsistent. Let me just check up here. We've got loads of bitumen here. I don't want to haul the bitumen from here to here because the oil trucks will just slow up everybody down. One thing I haven't looked at recently is these guys. They probably need some more trees here. Oops. Plant pines. I mean, it's not like they're contributing that much, but we do need to make sure that they've got plenty of logs to actually cut. In fact, that's something else I'm going to need to consider going forward, is that we might need to bring a forester out here. I can't remember where the boards are coming from. Let me just see. Where is... Whoops. Where is these guys? Where are you picking up? Oh no, we're actually getting boards from here, aren't we? Okay, so we need to put some trees in here. I have a small confession in the sense that trying to keep track of two of these campaigns at the same time is a little bit of a challenge. So we've got that done there. We're building this here. We've got this pump jack working here, which means we do need to think a little bit about possibly getting some more oil over here. We may need a second distribution office here to be able to sort things out. Just going to let the game run. I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.